Hello everyone, this is Venugopal. Today in this session we will see polymorphism. Now in C++ and Java we have already seen this concept that called as polymorphism. The basic meaning of polymorphism means many forms. Means one person, if I want to give an example, one person can act many form, right? Is called as, or you can say one function can serve multiple functionalities is called as polymorphism. Now, polymorphism can be executed by two concepts. One is called as overloading, and second one is called as overriding concept. This we will see, these two concepts we will see by with one small example. Overloading means what? Again, this both will show the concept of like one function will show multiple functionalities only, but the way of executing are different. So to understand better, we will execute one program based on this. So for that, I'll create one new Python file and we'll give a name as polymorphism. Now to understand first, polymorphism can be executed in two ways. One is by using the overloading concept, another is overriding concept. So if I want to take the example of overloading, so I'll take one class as operations. Inside I'll define one method called as add, and simply I'll take two arguments a comma b, print a plus b. I'll define same function, but this time the arguments are different. The arguments are a comma b comma c, and print a plus b plus c. Now if you observe carefully, right, the function name is same but the task is different, the functionality is different. So this concept is called as, because we can say that right now this add function is overloaded. First it was taking two arguments, but it was next in the same class it is taking few more arguments. So overloading the same function is called as overloading concept. And if I'll execute this one, so I need to create the object operations, and if I want to call the function respective function, so I need to call o dot add. I need to pass two arguments 10 comma 20, and second one is o dot add. This time I need to pass 1 comma 2 comma 3. So depending on the number of parameters, it will identify the function and execute the respective function. What happened? Oh, it is, I mean, it is getting conflict. Oh, I need to take a different class. No, it's not required. Why asking? Because like, oh, overloading concept is actually directly it is not supporting by your Python. Okay, if I'll say, if I'll take this example, for example, the single line one, right? And if I'll execute this one, it will give the answer 6. 1 plus 2, 3 plus 3 is 6. So basically, overloading concept is not, I forget that. I just went in Java only. So what happened, it will, if you have the same functions, right? So whatever the next latest function you are defining, it will consider that function only. So earlier, for example, you have taken two arguments only. right? And the second one you have taken the three arguments. So mandatorily you have to pass the three arguments whenever you're calling that function. So you have already created this one, but you have overloaded this function with this function. So it definitely it is asked for the latest one arguments. That is the reason why it is giving an error, that saying ki you have to pass one more argument. Okay, but if you want to leave it as a blank or something default, you can use the default arguments concept, default values, right? So this is what how you're going to overload the existing function. Okay, so now we move on to the next one, that is called as a overriding, how to override the concepts. Okay, for that purpose, we can take two examples. One, you can override the variables class. For example, I'm taking one class as a parent, and here suppose I'm declaring one variable, any variable. Let us take name is, for example, Ajay. This is called as a class variable. And child, in the child class, I want to override. See, whenever we are talking about overriding, okay, so you remember carefully, you are having the inheritance concept. Means you're talking about the inheritance, means something is defined inside your parent class, and then in the derived class you are overriding whatever you have done in the super class. Okay, for example, name is already there in the parent class, but in the child class I want to override that name with some new name. For example, I'm writing like Ajay Kumar. Okay, so this concept is called as overriding. So here I'll create the object of child class C equals to child, and if I'll execute, okay, we'll print here the statement print to just check the output. Name is a variable, fine. And here also what I'll do, I'll print name. Now see, the code is very simple, right? I've created the object and I'm executing this. Okay, now, oh, sorry, absolutely. Without function, how it is going to execute? Define one show function uh, display. Okay, and self. If I want to print, you have to print by using what, self dot name. Okay, this is the name. Here also you have to write define some show, and just a minute, self dot name. Okay, now see the program. It's very simple program. I have one class. I've declared one class variable, and in that function, I'm printing that variable. But at the same time, if I have the another class, that is child class, okay, in that I'm overriding that particular class, okay, and overriding the variables, and in that I'm printing again the name. If I'll execute this, C is equal to child, and if I'll print C dot show, what do you think, which output is going to print? Because we have two functions, show and show, in the parent class as well as in the child class. If I'll execute this, you will get Ajay Kumar. You will not get what, Ajay, because it will always refer to the overriding method only. The show method is already overrided your method, right? Now suppose, for example, let us consider you don't have this function. Suppose we are just doing the pass, we are not overriding anything, just I'm using pass. And if I execute, Okay. Child object not have no has no attribute. Show why it is pass. So sorry, I have not taken the inheritance. Now we need to take this parent class. Fine. Okay. If I'll execute this now, you will get Ajay, right? But if you have a method again here, this with the same name, Control C, Control V, and if you are overriding that with some another variable like name equals to like I'll take a Kishore Kumar. Now this time if I'll execute, it will always prefers to this show derived class show function because we have overridden this name variable here. So if I'll execute, you will get now Kishore Kumar. So this is what the concept of overriding. So overriding is basically Moss, you are having suppose one function you have defined in the parent class, and suppose you want to modification on the same function, right? The function name will be same, but it will be having some modification. The body you are going to change. Okay, that concept is called as overriding the concept. And this two, overloading and overriding obviously it's not directly supports, but overriding is supporting the role, major role for to perform the polymorphism concept. Let us take one more example. Suppose I'm defining one class. I'll show you how the dynamic binding takes place. Class, suppose I'm taking one class as dog, define one sound function, and inside this uh, print, suppose I'm writing here like dog barks. Okay, fine. I have one more function, class, suppose what, tiger, inheriting from dog, colon, right? It's not required actually in return, but see anyway. Define sound inside the bracket. Okay, fine. Now the tiger roars, I think, right? Print tiger roars. Okay, I don't know the spelling. No problem. I'll create one more function. Define, suppose sound underscore test. In the bracket, st is the object, and st dot, I'm calling this sound. Let us consider. And here I'm going to create the object for the both the classes. Actually, there is no need of inheritance here, but okay, fine. D is equal to dog. D is equal to dog. And another object is what? T equals to tiger. Okay. And we need to pass these objects now. How to pass this object? In the function sound tester. Suppose if I pass D. So D is the object of which class? Dog. So if I'll pass this D, this will catched in this function. So st dot sound. So now which function is going to be accessed? The function in which we have passed the respective object. So D is the object of dog. So it will call the function what? Dog barks. Let us execute this. What happened? Syntax error is there. Define. Oh, colon is missing. Fine. Well, execute. See, dog barks. If I want to execute, I mean, this is called as dynamic binding. Okay. If I'm passing sound underscore test, and if I pass T, and if I'll comment this one, you can observe now. Now T will be cached over here, right? It will call the sound function. So reference object is of which one? Tiger. So it will call the sound function of tiger. So let us check. and say the tiger roars. So this is one more very important program, right? Where you can also say, you might have heard about polymorphism is a dynamic binding, right? Static binding, dynamic binding. Static binding will be occurred for overloading, and dynamic binding whenever we will talk about, that is happening in the overriding. So this is the best example for dynamic binding. Okay, so what we have done here, we have taken the two classes, out of that two same functions, right? But when which function, when should call which function is all entirely depend on what kind of object you are passing. So here what we are doing, we are passing the object. Here we are passing the objects. So depending on the passing of the objects, it will call that function at runtime. And here we have created the objects, creating objects. This is what is a common data. I mean, depending on the object, it will call the respective function. So dynamic binding takes place like this. So I think that's it. In this video, we have seen what is polymorphism. Then we have seen the overloading also. Actually, the normal overloading is not allowed. There is a default overloading operator is available. That is a plus operator. I think that is the only operator, right? Which supports your what overloading. The rest of the overloading is not supported. It will take always the latest one. Uh, and we have seen the another one, that is overriding. Overriding means overriding the base class functions, right, into the derived class functions after modification of that. And in the last program, we have seen the dynamic linkage of the program. Okay, so that's it for this video. Keep watching. We'll see you in the next videos. Till then, bye bye.